Hey, thanks for joining us right here on IRONPROS for Construction Tech Talk. This is another of our We Talk to Smart People episodes, and we're calling them those because, we talk to smart people. And today is extra special appropriate because we're here with Andrew Zukoski, CEO of Join. How's your day going, sir?
It's good, Charles, it's good.
So we're here at Advancing Pre-Construction. So we're going to talk about what Join's doing for those earlier stages in the project lifecycle. Andrew, why don't you give me the elevator speech on Join, just for the uninitiated out there.
That's great. So Join's a software platform that's used on collaborative project delivery methods to enhance communication and collaboration between the multiple stakeholders that are involved. And so we heard it even today on some of the panels. The project timelines are getting compressed, general contractors are getting involved earlier and earlier, trade partners are getting involved earlier and earlier, and they're more and more engaged as the design and as plan and costs are evolving to meet the owner's dreams as best they can. And so that involves a lot of back and forth, a lot of coordination between these different stakeholders, and that's where our software platform comes in.
Yeah. So in those early stages, supporting the estimate and involving subcontractors and suppliers in that, what does the platform do for the teams involved in those processes?
Yeah, that's great. So you've got the idea of an estimate on one of these projects comes from a bunch of different places. You'll have some scopes that are at a conceptual level, total ROM number that's like a finger in the air that a real expert inside the general contractor put out there. You'll have others that are detailed estimates that came from a general contractor. You have others that were sourced actually from the trades, some of which might actually already be under contract. Others might actually already be work put in place. So Join lets you assemble that cost information, connect it to words, connect it to decisions, and then visually present that to owners and other stakeholders in ways that they can easily understand.
Yeah. And then when you have processes like either value engineering or the need to create a greater degree of specificity in that rough cut number, how do you guys support that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So value engineering, you've got you might have 300 different decisions you need the owner to make, and you've got to get them to make the right decision at the right time for the right reason. And so you need to be able to clear away the clutter and present to them where you actually need them to pay attention to those costs that have been developed to the point that there's some reasonable certainty there. And then you got to be able to provide the backup and help them understand the decision that they're making. And you want to be able to do it in a way that they understand. And so we really help with that presentation piece and in having a really low friction way for everyone who has a piece of the puzzle that comes together there to be able to log in and provide just that piece in the context that needs to be provided and then zoom off for the rest of their life. So what that means is that you get the owner is able to understand what I'm being asked for, what the consequences are for my project. They're able to confidently make that decision instead of saying, okay, well, can you give me a report broken down a different way and come back to me in a week and then maybe I'll make a decision in a week. So a real problem is when these early decision-making delays lead to schedule compression late in the project, actually, when there's boots on the ground, getting a job out of the ground.
So it's a matter of creating notices or making these things harder to ignore and helping team members kind of separate the critical few factors from the less critical many.
Yeah, I guess we're on camera, so I gotta curtail my vocabulary a little bit. But there's certain OS moments, these are the ones we really need to focus on. These are the ones we really got to move forward.
Yeah.
This is ball in court. This is being able to track accountability and then confidently understand the impacts of them. Yeah.
So how do you give people signals about criticality along those lines then?
Oh, a lot of it comes down to how the team is coded and then where they want to be able to present to it. So you build up filtered views. Say you got this living, breathing, moving cost model of a project, right? It's got new estimates coming in. It's got hundreds of items that are being tracked and trended on top of it. Things are getting accepted day by day, and you get these views into it where you might be focusing in on. Either breaking down or focusing in on particular scopes. So a lot of firms we hear are adopting target value design processes, and so there you often have these clusters or pits where you've grouped, often it's the MEP is a cluster, right? And they're all designing, they're coordinating with each other and trying to get to a number. So you can track and understand overall, our project's a little bit up, but if we look in and we zoom in, we can see here, oh, we're way over on this number, we're going the wrong direction. So the reports just draw you in really easily to where attention needs to be paid based on how you've broken your own project down.
Yeah. So, you're a growing company. and you're a robust product already, you're obviously putting more and more functionality in. So if someone was getting to be familiar with Join a little while ago, what are some things in the product that they might look at and say, hey, that's new?
Yeah.
Last time I looked.
That's great. So we've got a bunch of stuff here, some of which we're demoing for the first time here. We built Join to meet first the needs of particular project teams. I mean, everything, construction is a project by project basis. We're doing all this work to pull work out of specific projects and prefab and so on and so on. But it's still, at the end of the day, a project by project basis, and no software solution is going to survive unless it delivers value, basically from the moment it's turned on to individual project teams. And that's where we started, and we're, reasonably confident that we're delivering good value there. One thing that's exciting, though, is that in taking these processes that were previously handled in unstructured or semi-structured ways, there's a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of email threads, and turning them into a more structured process backed by actual software means that the data that it kicks off is now much more easy to aggregate. Yeah. It means that we can pull together historical cost numbers. And now what we're demoing here, it's an early preview, I guess. But it'll be out for our customers here in a few weeks. Is the ability to search across all of your historical projects. So say hey, what did we do last time? Hey, we do a lot of tilt-up concrete, elementary schools in Phoenix. What are the top 10 cost-saving measures we've taken on past projects of this type? Yeah. And that's the sort of information that previously blew away in the wind at the end of every project. Yeah. Teams had to do all this learning. It's this R&D effort. It's as hard as designing an airplane, designing a building, and at the end of pre-con often, all of that knowledge that's been built blows away in the wind because it's too much work to go. The spreadsheet ends up bespoke to a particular project, and it's hard to understand how it evolved or what was accepted, and so you just it's just gone. It's too hard to go get this because teams on the new project where that past knowledge could actually be applicable, they're under the gun. They're trying to execute really quickly, and by bringing software to it that's been used on those other projects, we're able to close that loop in a really, really low friction and we believe, really exciting way.
Yeah. Well, one term that we're hearing all the time right now in the space is round tripping of data from completed projects into new estimates. But it seems like just taking the pre-construction stuff and round tripping that is a darn good step in the right direction.
Yeah, we've got a historical cost solution. We're excited to deepen our integrations over time into course construction financial management tools and allow you to actually round trip those actuals. What we're finding is that people actually are really good with GMPs. Yeah. That the GMP number, is it actually a guaranteed maximum price for owners? There's risks and contingencies carried on top of it, and the number could move some from there. But being able to work confidently and accurately from your actual GMP, which is often different from your last historical estimate on a project, actually working from the GMP, is actually a really good place to round trip from. There's sort of a full life cycle there that doesn't. Often there's one of the big challenges round tripping historical data is just that you cost control a project with a different breakdown and different accounting codes than you estimate a project. And so it's sort of this apples and oranges comparison of this breakdown of money at the whole we were 10% over, we were 5% over, we were 3% under, but being able to break that down and attribute it to any particular aspect of the project is very difficult because it's broken down in a different way. And that means it's of limited value because you never ever build the same project over and over again. I mean, maybe I guess some people do, but for the vast majority of work, it's stretched to fit. It's new. It's if nothing else, the dirt is different, right? The substructure is going to be different every job, and so without being able to break it down and attach it to particular scopes and then attach it to particular metrics, it's much harder to stretch that past data to fit. So yeah, we feel good. We feel good about helping folks round trip GMP numbers in particular.
Yeah. So what kind of contract? Let's say we've got contractors who are watching this video. Well, gee, is this going to be a fit for my business? What are some of the different criteria that make someone a really good fit for subscribing to and getting joined into their business?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when we talk to people, what we find is a good fit are commercial general contractors, so doing a wide range of project types, but doing it where they want to excel in collaborative delivery methods. And when I say collaborative delivery methods, I mean CM at risk, CMGC, design build, or if you're one of the, I'd call them crazy few, an integrated form of agreement or an IPD project. if we have folks who do a mixture of these collaborative methods and hard bid, but if your job, if your business is built and will always be built on hard bid, like not a good fit for us. Like, it's really around these like drawn out collaborative processes that involve a lot of stakeholders at the same time. And so if you find yourself in the middle of a lot of stakeholders, if you're a PX who's got like just juggling all these stakeholders in every job that you're on, like there could be a lot of value that we could bring to your projects and to your firm. And that's across really wide range of project types as well.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep on following the developments with your company and product, because there's so much going on, and people really need, we think, a little bit of help figuring it out, figuring out what's important, figuring out what it means to them. So we spend time with guys like Andrew. If you like that, keep on coming back, and we'll have Andrew back again very soon.
Thanks so much, Charles.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, have a good day.